Hi and welcome to my creepy basement. Welcome to my playhouse. Today I'm continuing messing around with the Yixiang DIY battery box, and it has a JK BMS inside, and as that has been messing with me a little bit, I thought I would share that because I didn't know what to do. So I think, well, it might help someone else if they're messing with that system. Ah, dang it, I missed it. I went in there and I forgot to turn on the camera. So I picked that one and I had to put in a password, and I thought it was 123456. It turned out to be 1234. And when you do that, you get into it. It complains about the password, and you can apparently change that right there. Modify password. So old password and put in a new password. I'm gonna do that. And my password has been changed successfully. So there. I don't like that name either, so we could just change that, and it's done the same place. And modify name. So I'm gonna modify that. I don't know if I'm ever gonna need that number, but if I do, I have recorded it here. There we are. On the app, we are gonna call it my Playhouse 16 kilowatt hours. So okay to that. So name changed, please restart software. Okay. So anytime search. Yeah, okay, it changed the name now. Cool. So we can stop it. We can go in there and we get all the information, and there is a lot of information here. We do still have some alerts, so where can we get rid of the alerts? Detailed log. Oh, that's not fun. System log. Okay, we get a lot of stuff in here. Can we... It would be nice to just clear all of that stuff. So, but nevertheless, we have full access to the battery now. Okay, so we're not completely done yet. We do need to connect some cables to this, and behind door number, well, that must be door number 2 here, we have where the cables are connected. And this is a plexiglass cover that has some protective stuff over it. So we need to remove that so it becomes transparent when we're putting it back in again. But we have some connections here that we need to make, and these comes off. I haven't there isn't any power on this yet. I haven't connected the big beefy switch in the back, but I needed to figure out which size I have purchased a 35mm cable, and I think this might be I think this might be 10mm. So, but I want to make sure. It's actually only 8. Okay, so that's a shame. I have these really good ones. So, but over here on the bus bar down there, that is 10mm. So I can put these on one end, and then I need 8mm on the other end. So these were the really good one from Biltema, but I do see that I have some almost as good, and these are SC35-8, meaning that this hole is 8mm. So yeah, we are gonna be able to manage that, and I have the same thing in a less good quality as this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna check if there is anything better available. I have this whole box as well. I have been collecting. So this is These are 1025, and I have some really good 5010. I think I bought those by mistake actually. Don't think I've ever used a 50 cable. So okay, so what we have here is the best solution at the moment. And then we have the cable here, which I have spent a fortune on. This is like, well, it's a little bit more than $100 worth of cable, and it's a little bit less than 100 euros worth of cable. So yeah, it's about 720 Danish kroners of cable. I need a piece for my mom and I need a piece for me, because my mom has a battery as well, and I need to make a cable for my mom's battery and inverter as well. She needs about 2 meters, and as I read on the label here, this is 6 meters. So if I measure out 2 meters for my mom, I think I'm just gonna use the rest for my system. That means that I can move the battery a bit around in there. 4 meter cable is a bit much. It's easier to shorten it down than to make it longer. So we're gonna take off 2 meters here. And I have a measuring stick, 2 meters long. Good cutter here, cutting edge technology. Oh. 35 millimeters is the limit. So now I have a 2 meter cable, and I can just use it to measure out the black wire as well. I don't think my mom needs much more than a meter, but it's easier to remove 20 centimeters and to go use another 100 euros on cables. There we are, Mom. 2 cables for you. You'll probably have seen the cables before you see the video, but well, that's how they're made. My mom watches my videos. Hi, Mom! But now we need to connect 35 millimeter 8 in one end and 35 millimeter 10 in the other end. Okay, so I'm almost ready to crimp the cables. I took a little bit too much off of the black one, so I'm giving it a little bit of a hairdressing here. See if I can shorten the longest ones just a little bit so that it fits a little bit better. These on. Try and get all the strings in, which is always fun. I think we did a decent job. And here we have the red one. It's about the right length. And they go on very snugly. These cables are from Biltema. So decent quality cables at Biltema. I have this hydraulic pump for making these cables, so we're gonna pump up the jam on this one. And I'm just resetting a little bit. I really think the 35 millimeter is good enough. I think we need to go down to 25. These jaws, this says 35, but I think the 25 might give us a way better crimp. So we're gonna cheat, we can do that. And they say 4 AWG for the American viewers. So let's see. Wait. Most definitely crimping. Yeah, that's definitely a good crimp. We're gonna do the black one, then I'm gonna crimp it again. Look. I'm gonna crimp the top of it as well, but Yeah, they're good. They're very good. Oh, you're very far away. Yeah, they are very well crimped. There we are. One set of cables completed, and they are very long. My booster pump just shut off. I've been waiting for it to stop, but it's still making weird sounds. Okay, the sun is shining very nicely outside, so it's noisy inside. I have put some insulation tape on the two connections that goes to the inverter. This video is really about the battery, so I'm gonna be connecting it to the inverter without as much camera fanfare. So I have the two connections that goes onto here, and well, that way. And there is also some zip ties up here, some room for some zip ties where you can connect the cables to, so you get a bit of cable relief up there. I think you can see them here. It's that one and that one, so I'm gonna see if I can use those. So I'm so lucky to have some awesome subscribers, and quite a few months back my good subscriber Tobias made this tool for me, which is a 3D printed plastic thing for doing this sort of jobs, because plus and minus, a huge battery. If this was metal, bad day. Plastic, no issue whatsoever. So yeah, we're gonna pop these in. Let's just start with the negative one. And it needs to go up there. And this thing can be used without the handle as well, just for some starting. There. And we can do the red one, if I can find the end of it. It's right there. And we can do that as well. And it goes that way. And I have the big relay in this thing off. I haven't turned that to the on position, so we shouldn't have any voltage out here. I actually forgot to measure that, but we shouldn't. That big relay should really work. There. And we are torquing that to about plastic strength. These does take some abuse, so yeah, I need to ask Tobias to provide some new ones at some point. They are being worn out. So now we need to find some. These tiny little zip ties comes with the battery box. They I think we can do better. It's a bit dark in here. I hope we'll manage. Okay, we need to bend this a little bit so that it want to come out the right way. There. And zip tie that. There. Shorten that. One of them are good to go. And then the other one, I think we can put both in there. Just do the same thing. So now we have these two beefy 35mm cable coming out of this box. This box is able to do 200 amps. I don't think that is necessary for me to do 200 amps on it, because I also have all the other batteries. We're just gonna put the protective thingies back on there. There. Looks pretty good. And now we have our protection plate here, which we need to remove the paper from. Okay, that was about the most difficult thing today. Getting your nails in under this paper thing and being able to peel that off. And I had a little bit of a surprise, stupid thought when I got it. I thought, oh, all the glue is gone, so it isn't sticky anymore. And then I realized it's not supposed to be sticky. It's a window. So yeah, we are installing windows on a power machine. Is there something about the holes online in a specific way? Yeah. It takes less than I'll put that in. Cool. Da, da, da. That looks good. Guess who's making a mess over here? Yes, exactly. Yours truly. Did I mention this is on wheels? It can actually move around. So even though it's over 100 kilograms and my floor isn't that even in here, well, it's still mobile. So now we need the cables to go that way. Okay, so I have actually connected the cables, and as you can see, there's plenty of it. My idea is that the box could go over in this corner, which is a beautiful corner, I know. But it could go further away as it is right now, or I could shorten up the cables when I decide what I want to do. I'll just show it. I have connected it. It's connected right there, and that line, that's a 70mm cable that goes into the inverter, and we have connected the battery over here with a 35mm cable. So it should have a good connection, and I've tightened it as much as I could, and as that is a 10mm bolt in there, I haven't put as much wear and tear on those as of yet, so I was able to tighten that really good. So yeah, it's nicely connected to the system. It's not on because over here we have a battery voltage of 52 let's just say 52 volts. Over here on the inverter we have a battery voltage of 55 volts. That's a 3 volt difference. That is a bit much. So at the moment the inverter is at 88%. We can see that it claims that the battery is at 88%, and over here we're at 77%. So I need to bring the voltage down on this battery pack, which I can do by going out and say that it shouldn't charge from solar. It should well, let's sell some power and see if we can't get the voltage down. So this is the power price at the moment, and you can see here midday we get nothing for our power. It's zero Danish kroners. That dot means that that's now, and a little bit later the power price goes up, and I haven't purchased power for the last 5 months, maybe even 6. So this is all good, but it also means that I've set my battery to charge up at this point, and then I might sell some to the power grid at that point. But yeah, now we need to put the new battery into the system, so we need to get the voltage down. So we might wanna pump some power out, even though we are not getting anything for it. Just me stopping it charging from the sun would probably have the voltage go down by a couple of volts. Okay, what kind of an idiot thought it was a good idea to not bring the tripod up from the basement? Well, never mind. This is my DI inverter, and this is the cloud service for it, and I'm using that. So I click on the inverter. You can have multiple inverters, that's why it's there. Right now we are getting about 4.65 kilowatt from the solar panels, and some of that goes to the house and some of that goes to the battery there. And if we go into the inverter, we do that over there, device, and it's less of an overview. We can see some battery voltages, which is right there. That's the battery voltage. So, but we need to change so that it doesn't charge the battery. So there is a setting up here. Where did the mouse? There. That thing, that is settings. And here is a system work mode. And right now it's not updated, it's just whatever. So if we press read, it will go and ask the inverter, what is it actually set to? And we can see that it changed. So now it actually knows what the inverter is set to. So it's 0 export. And that means that it's more or less, it's charging up the inverter right now. There's all kind of calendar things that you can do down here, and you can turn up and down how much you want to charge and buy from the grid or sell to the grid by messing with that stuff. It takes a while to get used to. If we set this mode to sell first, we should most definitely stop charging the battery. So we're gonna do that. We need to press the setup button here, and then in a little bit it will update that. And when the picture comes back, it's updated. It's only updated every 5 minutes, so we have to wait a little bit to see it happen. So right now the voltage is 55.21, and that is gonna go down considerably when it realizes that it's not getting charged anymore. So, but if we change over to the setting page, if I can find the mouse, there. And we go down and we can see the calendar here at timer number 3. That's our pleasant time. So when it kicks in, we're gonna be exporting 2000 watts to the grid, and that should bring the voltage down on the batteries a bit. If it's not enough, we can always up that and export a bit more. And when the two is equal, I think I can go and connect the big beefy breaker down there, and the battery should be connected. Okay, it figured out that we are now discharging, so we lost 1.5 volt on that. So, and it is pumping out a bit of power. Apparently 1.8 kilowatt hour. That's because I've set a limit to how much it's allowed to export. I've set that to 6 kilowatt hours, and it's supplying most of it from the solar panels and then the rest from the battery. So I could adjust that. But we just need that voltage to come down to about 52 volts. And yeah, let's not rush it too much. Okay, we are at 52.76 volts. Well, yeah, it was 75 just before, but this is where the curve of the discharge of the batteries is very straight in the middle here. So it takes forever and ever to do anything about it. I also figured out that I can turn the display off here on the phone. I got in here and have all the settings, and you can set that up over here under different settings, and there is a display always on, and that was on, so I disconnected that, and that will there's a timer on there, so I think it's like 30 seconds or something, and the display turns off. But there's all sorts of things that you can turn on and off. That was not 30 seconds. Let's see. It will come on. Let's see how long it takes for it to go off. But yeah, a huge amount of settings here, and I actually found that the BMS was set to the wrong kind of batteries, because it said that the batteries was fully charged at 2.6 something volts, I think it was, and I had to press the LiFeP04 lithium iron phosphate batteries up here, and it changed the whole system to be using those cells instead. Was that like 20 seconds? I think that might be about 20 seconds for the display to go out. Maybe that is settable somewhere here. And I've been in here and changing the battery capacity so that we should have 314 amp hours on the batteries. When they're brand new, there's a little bit more, and when they're getting old, there is quite a bit less. Okay, this is taking way too long. I am kind of impatient. I've actually turned on my water heater here. This uses 3000 watts, and I've turned it up high so that it could use some of the power, so that I don't have to put it out onto the grid, not getting anything for it. But I've actually come to the idea of maybe if I shut some of these batteries off, the voltage will drop a lot faster, and then when the voltage is low enough, I can kick this one in, and then I can go up to the computer and have everything stop pushing out into the grid again, and then I can go in down here and connect the batteries one at a time. And I think that is gonna go a lot quicker. So I'm gonna try that. Let's start with the first one. Let's see, we have a voltage of 52.3. So let's disconnect that one. And we already dropped to 52.65. Let's take one more. There. And we dropped to 52.47. Let's do the red auto. There. Oh, we're good. We are actually a bit low. So let's pop that in again. And we are at about the right. Let's try the smaller ones here. And we dropped to 52.2 volts. What is best? A bit too low or a bit too high? I think a bit too high. Okay, let's say that is good enough. We're at 52.15 now, so it's about a perfect time to pop this in. So let's see. On. That was a big clunk. And the voltage went up a bit. I should have pressed that. So now the voltage dropped a bit on that one. And I'm gonna very quickly go upstairs and I'm gonna turn off all the loads. Okay, so now nothing is going out into the grid, and we're charging the battery with 4 kilowatt hours of power. Which over here is not a lot. It's I think maybe I should set this to always on while filming. Yeah, I think we can pop some more into this, but it might be a good idea to connect the batteries again, to get them on, so that we have the full system up and running. So now we are. Did that do anything? Yeah, the voltage dropped a little bit, so now there is more batteries taking in voltage, but nevertheless everything is connected and nothing is smoking, so that is a good thing. This voltage here is a lot higher than the voltage over here. I think I'm gonna set that to always on. That is annoying. Yeah, for filming purposes, there we are. So it says that it's 52.33 volts, and the inverter says 54.1 volt. So I think this is kind of way off. Charge off. Why is charge off? It's charging very well. Discharge on. And in here, charges on. Let's try and turn it off. And it turned off. Let's turn it on again. And it's charging. Did it figure it out? Nope, still off. Yeah, that's weird. Balancing is off. Is it balancing? It shows that it's still balancing. But under settings, you can kind of calibrate voltage, so you can probably say, oh, the voltage is actually this, and then that is calibrated. Also the amps feels low. I don't actually have an amp meter right now. I brought that to Portugal and I bought a new one, but well, I bought one that couldn't measure DC amps but only AC amps, but it's connected. Okay, it's a bit later. It has been charging for a while. I actually think that it's stealing power from the other batteries at the moment, because it says that it's taking in 485 watts. And if we look up here on the inverter, from the solar, we're only getting in 400 and something, and that is less than what we just saw. So I think it's stealing a little bit from over here because it is lower. The JK BMS that is inside this battery can very nicely communicate with my inverter through a normal RJ45 connector here and the CAN port, but I don't know how it's gonna work if I put this smart battery and tell the inverter to use that smart battery when I have all these not so smart batteries also connected. There's some issues there, so I'm waiting a little bit. I'm gonna try this first, see how far I get with this, and then I might connect it. It's over here. You connect it to one of those connectors. So I'm really sorry that you got 2 battery videos in 1 week, but I've been waiting for this battery for quite some months now, and yeah, I really wanted it to get it up and going and connect it to the rest of the system here, and it is connecting, and it is online and charging and stuff, so everything is good. 16 kilowatt hours of power. I don't know if that means anything to you, but I found out that I use about 8.5 kilowatt hours of power every day in my house, normal use. All the things that are on, and I've reduced the amount of servers quite a bit, so 8.5 kilowatt hours of power. That means that this battery can almost last me 2 days if everything else is disconnected. 2 days of power, and with the rest of the system, which is about 28 kilowatts of power, well, that's probably another calculation. That is something like 3.5 days more. So a little bit more, and I can do a week without power. So there is still quite a distance from being able to handle winter where there is no sun. Thank you very much to YIX Energies for sending me this battery for review and showcase and to show you guys, and therefore there is naturally lots of links in the description so you can go check this out. It's a very affordable way to get 2 days of power to your house. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.